Bigfoot, aliens from outer space. There are stories out there that have haunted us for generations. Ordinary people put in terrifying situations. Sometimes the unexplained is stranger than the books we read. Do you have a story? An unsolved mystery? Lock yourself away with us for the next hour and let's talk about it. Nothing is too far. Nothing is off the table. You want to be heard? You want your story out there? Or do you just want someone to believe you? Well, then let's talk. I've got time and you've got a story. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Find the courage to call us or just listen in while we work through the stories of regular people just like you, reliving extraordinary situations. It's time to go off the record. And the microphones are hot. Here we go. Listen to us manually fade down the music in the background like trained broadcast professionals. All right. Here we go. Now, hold on a second. I say, hold on there for just a second, you young whippersnapper. All right, we've got to do a mic check here. Make sure the pod track is moving up and down. Streamlabs is moving side to side. Doom, 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 doom. And we'll throw the record button on there just to see if everybody's happy. And it looks like Streamlabs is recording for what it's worth. And the pod track is on battery mode today. Yeah, R2D2 mode. And we'll see if it goes through. And it's recording also. So, and I know Danny H has got my backtrack all set up there. If he's recording, I don't know how he does that. He records something. You know what? I think Danny H sits there with an old cassette recorder and the radio playing.
He knows you.
I think he goes, Mom, don't come in don't open my door while I'm recording. I'm recording the general right now. Mom, don't bring. Yes, I want some milk in my tapioca, but then don't come in here, Mom. I'm recording, because when you're recording with a cassette player, like we did as kids,
that was the worst.
You'd have your mom open the door. You're like,
then you have to wait hours till the next time it comes
till the next
around.
time they play that song. It was just tough. So
he's got your back.
all right, so I'm
Hi,
trying
everyone.
to make hearing myself a little bit better. The audio says, right, I'm going to hear it. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Now I'm loud and clear. Am I loud and clear in your ears?
Yeah, you're sounding sexy.
I'm sounding sexy.
Bring it down a notch.
Bring it down a notch. Let's dim the lights.
All the
and
girls are here.
bring the speakers in real close.
I brought my girls with
That's what
me.
I'm saying. Because you have to, if you're going off the record and you're talking about Bigfoot, you're talking about the Loch Ness Monster.
Ooh,
Or maybe a renegade werewolf.
nice.
It's always good to have your sexy voice on, roaring in the background. So, live from the Loop Studios in Minden, Nevada, it is 7:04 p.m. Los Angeles time. And before we begin, I got to tell you, on the off chance that anyone's listening, I had a lovely lunch with you today. I'm not sure if it was lunch. It was kind of late, but...
What did we call it?
we
We called it we're trying to call it something.
well, what do you call something between lunch and dinner? Linner?
Linner.
We
Yeah.
had dinner?
Didn't fast.
No, because that's a dinner and breakfast. So I don't know, but we went to Fuentes there in Minden, and I got to tell you, this is no lie. I talked to JJ, he's one of the owners down there, and we gab a little bit. I would have sat there eating that Mexican food until I was in a coma or until my credit card maxed out. I wouldn't even care. I just sat in that booth and just kept eating. That's how good it was. Some of you guys know that. We had a staff dinner there. The staff was here for when we did the Gen X Talks barbecue this summer. We took the staff there for a meeting and some food. Literally, you can tell them, order anything on the menu. It's all good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how I felt. They're not sponsoring us. They're not donating it. They don't even give us a break. we don't even get a break. But it's that good, and we're so happy I love meeting local people up here.
Yeah.
The mom and pop stores where people still own. It's not a corporation. I dig that. And Fuentes is one of those, family owned and operated. Great people. JJ and his wife down there, and his sister, and his mom, of course, is the matriarch. So if you're ever wandering on the 395 through Minden, Nevada, write that down. Make sure you stop and, hey, you know what? Here's the most important part. You go in, mention Gen X Talks,
Yeah.
and you get free ice with your soda. Yeah, I'm serious. You don't even charge you for that.
Hey, Chad Hoffman says, General, if you're
Yeah.
around, hello. Chad Hoffman.
Chad, well, it's very astute of you, Chad, being I'm right here talking on the fucking microphone. I guess I'm here. All right, so are we 5x5 everywhere we're supposed to be?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Now, before we take a phone call, because we have a couple lined out. We'll get to one, maybe two. But we got some
Would you
stuff.
start the show?
I did.
You're just using that intro? You're not welcoming everybody? Or
I did. I said, welcome Loop Studios, 704
Oh.
Los Angeles time.
I guess you did.
No shit. Are you?
I don't know. I was just talking to my peeps.
You know what the problem is?
What?
I know what the problem is.
What's the problem?
I'm too sexy.
You too sexy for your shirt.
I'm too sexy
for your shirt.
And when you get confused, I understand.
I was a little Twitter pated.
Twitter pitted. Yeah, well, I did put on some extra 1985 today, and I forgot to change
the podcast tomorrow is going to be so much fun.
All right, so Off the Record with the General is where we talk about conspiracies, we talk about Bigfoot, we talk about Loch Ness Monster, we talk about paranormal activity, and the phone number is 805-460-5603. If you have been probed by an alien, you got to call.
What do you consider an alien?
I know right now you're thinking, well, it was foreign to my body. That's not what we mean. We're talking about like little green men, flying saucers, E.T., beam me up,
okay,
Scotty.
well then,
no,
forget it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what it is. What you do is you normally text in if you're trying to do something right now, 805-460-5603. Or you can also, Shiloh Ferguson, I don't know how to spell it, so go to the website, genxtalks.com.
She'll put it in the chat. If anybody's in the chat.
Yeah, but if you're just listening, it's genxtalks.com. Scroll to the bottom. There's a staff button. And that's where you find her email. That's the easiest way to do it. But if you have something you want to be on the program, then you text the shop phone here and we give it a gander.
Do you have a conspiracy theory you want to talk about?
No.
There's lots of them.
I don't have one. But you did. You've been cramming one down my throat for a goddamn week.
You want to know why?
I don't have any idea why.
Because when you had your shop, the guy next door, swear to God, he must have talked to him about it
Chris.
every single day. We'd be out on K Street and he'd be like looking up at the sky. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
He'd call us out there.
Yes.
Hey, come here. Come outside. Look at this. Look. You see those chemtrails? I go, those are called contrails. That's what happens. No, they're not. That's what happens when jet engines fly overhead and there's dissimilar atmospheric pressures and temperatures. No, those aren't contrails. Those are chemtrails. And this guy, his name was Chris, and he passed away.
He did.
He was very young, too.
It was scary on K Street. Everybody was dropping dead.
Well, yeah, Tom died.
That's right.
Then the guy Tim, who owned the building 2 doors down with the steam thing, he died. Then Chris died.
Yeah.
But before all that, the guy who owned Hoppity Honda right across from us on Little Side, he died.
Yeah, it was kind of scary.
And then I found out right before him, the guy who owned the Corvette shop killed himself in the Little Red building.
I
know. It was like, okay, we got to go. We got to get off K Street.
Yes.
This is not a good thing. I don't want to. I was the last one because Handley moved away. I was it. It was either move or become part of the curse of K Street.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Kind of funny. We should talk about that one time. Write down all the stuff that happened there in those years and go, look at all the people that died on K Street.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy, Chris, he was huge into the chemtrail thing. So, of course, my wife has been beating me up about it. I mean, she wakes me up at 2 a.m. Hey, look at this video. Look at this guy. He proved chemtrails are real. I'm going to shut the fuck up and go back to sleep. God damn it. But here's the deal. I did do some homework. I knew a little bit about it because Chris got me involved in it, to pay attention 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying I go, and they're still talking about it. But I thought he was just a quack. Seriously. I'm like, dude, that's a weird theory.
You know what I couldn't find? There was just this last week, there was something out from the Trump administration, from the White House. I looked for that. I Googled it and went, Trump administration chemtrails, nothing. Recent chemtrails, nothing. I even went into where I thought they'd be with Kennedy, Robert Kennedy.
No, it's not him. It's the Department of, oh, man.
Well, Kennedy had something on there recently, but he was blaming the Department of Defense. So let me get into what this is. If you don't know what the prevailing theory is, I'm not going to sit here and go over this for hours and hours and hours, okay? Luckily, you all have a gifted and talented trained broadcast professional sitting behind the golden microphone, and I did all the work for you. So to summarize, let's talk about when you look up in the sky on a clear day and there's jets going overhead at different altitudes, you see the white trail, the white vapor trail behind some jets.
That is correct.
Now, Do you know what the basics of that is? Just why that happens?
I don't remember. Probably if I sat here and thought about it.
Okay. It is basically water condensation.
I was going to say water vapor.
There's water vapor in jet fuel. And people say, oh, no. There's no water in exhaust. Okay. How come sometimes you can get up on a cold morning? You ever woke up on a cold morning on the south side of Chicago and you fire up your car and it looks like steam is coming out of your pipe? And what else? You see drips of water coming out of your exhaust pipe.
Condensation.
There you go. Because it does happen. There's condensation all over the place. There is condensation in the fuels. There's condensation in the air around. And that's what happens up at that altitude.
It's cold.
Dissimilar temperatures and dissimilar pressures. There is water in the atmosphere. There is a certain amount of water in the exhaust of the jet. And at times, under circumstances, it forms a vapor. And you can see it. It's a water vapor. It's a water vapor trail.
It dissipates.
It dissipates with wind. It dissipates with little time. And that's the basics of what it is. And that's common and everybody agrees. Even the conspiracy guys. Even the hardcore, you're poisoning us, you're killing us. With every trail in the sky? No. A lot of those are just normal contrails. Of course, the jets do that. We know that. We're talking about the other trails. Okay, so we all agree.
Some are normal.
Some are normal. So we get how that works. That's not a big deal. Now, when you spend hours.
Looking up?
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't just go outside and stare up in the air. What are you doing outside for 6 hours at a time? I'm studying contrails, but all you're doing is sitting in the front yard on the grass. I'm looking up. Leave me alone, fucker. No, when you do all the research online and you listen to all the pros and cons, you listen to all the guys that are saber rattling about this kind of stuff, it comes down to something very simple. There's a certain number of people that believe that chemtrails have aluminum, barium, and a few other light precious metals. That's what they say is in there. Now, there's others that add things to it. It's got this chemical and that chemical. Okay, yeah. But the basics of the entire group is there are metals coming out of jet engines in the exhaust. Okay? I just saved you 10 hours of research. Because that's what it comes down to when you listen to all the arguments and you sift through hours of it. Like, okay, so I listened to a 1-hour podcast right now, and the only thing that I got out of it was this motherfucker believes there's metals coming out of the... And you say, yeah. Okay. Why? Let's go to the why part next. Why do they think that's happening? Now, this is where the conspiracy guys break off into factions. Okay?
All right.
Some of them say, and the most popular one is, they're killing us. It is population control. They make us sick. Not all of us survive. And it's funded by the insurance companies and pharmaceutical, because if you're sick, they make money. So they make money, and we don't have to worry about our food supply. That is such a big, big argument with these people. Well, there's not a lot of food. Not a lot of food left. Can't feed everybody. It's the Thanos thing.
Yeah.
And they just can't get enough infinity stones and snap their fingers and kill half of humanity so that the other half can live. That's the Thanos way. So the chemtrails are killing people to slow down the population.
Yeah, they say they make you sick. Yeah.
And it makes you sick, and it's, of course, funded partially by the people that benefit when you're sick. That's the big one. Now, the other thing that they say is that it is fighting global warming.
Huh?
Oh, now this actually has a lot of truth in it.
Some validity to it?
Oh, it's huge. No. I listened to a couple scientists today. They're like, okay, and what the conspiracy guys say, it's good, and it's helping fight global warming, but it's still metal, and the metal comes down, and it poisons us. They don't think they're doing it, but they are doing it, and it's the global warming, and that's an actual thing. So I listened to two scientists explain this clearly.
Okay.
And it was kind of cool. They didn't really have a visual aid. They just kind of spelled it out verbally, as I am about to unfold for our audience here. There, you know, because you're a big plane girl, you love planes and stuff. You know, there's jet streams in different parts of the world,
Right.
where there's flow of air moves and goes.
Correct.
Okay. Let's say you could avoid those, which we can. We fly in them on purpose because they help out with fuel economy.
Sure.
We avoid them flying the other way because that hurts your fuel
Because there's
economy.
drag.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's also vast areas that there's no big jet stream. There's nothing particular going on other than local weather. The exhaust gas that comes out of planes, they claim reflects radiation from the sun, keeps it out. If they can do enough jets, they can keep enough out, it'll help global warming because you're not warming the planet.
Well, there's enough jets in the sky if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, if you've seen, now this is what the guy was talking
flight
about.
tracker.
That's right. He goes,
Would scare everybody.
He goes, you ever look at a flight tracker? Mm-hmm. And there's thousands and thousands of planes all over the planet covering quite a bit of the earth.
Yes.
He goes, imagine all of them putting out these exhaust trails. So the next question is, well, is that true? Can exhaust help or hinder global warming? You know, whether it's man-made global warming or whether it's just the Earth is rising in temperature, who cares?
I'm going to throw that out there like smog. Like, you know how they talk about smog over LA kind of traps in? Would it do something similar?
Yeah, but you're going to get us sidetracked with that.
Okay.
So let's not do that. But so these two scientists on two different programs, years apart, they said the same words. They go, well, the truth is that jet exhaust can inhibit radiation.
Okay.
But they said it doesn't work like people think. It doesn't do very good at keeping radiation out and the heat out.
Okay.
So if you want to fly planes all over the planet, hoping you're putting up a barrier so that the sun's warmth and the sun's radiation, it'll shield it and the planet will cool, it's not really going to do much. However, both scientists said, if you want to fly planes all over the planet, you can keep the warmth in. It works the other way much better. And these guys go, this is simply proven. This is just exhaust gases, and we can measure everything. If we really wanted to, we could envelop the Earth with all these, the jets. He says, and you could do it and keep the Earth warmer. So, of course, the question to these scientists would be, well, how would you use that to keep the Earth cooler? And say, well, you fly all the planet. Computer would tell you where the jet streams are because you don't want those because that dissipates all your contrails. A computer would tell all the planes where to fly during the day, and you would reflect as much as you could.
Okay.
But during the night is when you can make a difference. You fly just in the jet streams. None of the exhaust trails from these jets really cover the planet. They all get swept away in the jet stream, and the planet overnight, every single night, would begin to cool because you're not trapping any of it.
Gotcha.
So they said that, it's true, you could do this. And somebody asked, one of the hosts said to the guy, says, well, are they doing that? And he goes, no, nobody's actively doing that. And he said, well, why not? If they're worried about global warming, why wouldn't you fly the planes in a certain way during the day and a certain way at night to help cool the planet? Because it sounds like it would work. And he goes, well, it should work. Yeah, it would. There's thousands of planes doing this.
True.
He says the airlines won't do it.
Why not?
Cost.
Oh.
It's a 2.5% to 3% cost increase on fuel. And they're like, we're not doing this. No fucking way. Their margins are too small. They're like, we're not ever doing it. Don't ever ask. Fuck off. We don't care. That's what they said. They just, we're not even interested in doing that.
Okay.
And they said, so, it's kind of a hodgepodge. It's not, even people that are in global warming aren't saying, they're all there. This is the most, it's cars, it's SUVs, it's cow farts, it's all sorts of other shit. But these two scientist guys go, the truth is we could change quite a bit with that if we just did this, because there are literally thousands of planes flying all the time, and you just redirect them a little bit, and we could change a little bit of how that would help. But no one's doing it, nobody cares, and people at the top don't give a shit. End of story. But there is some truth to the contrails, the regular exhaust, and how that could affect different things. Now, switch over to the other part of this category, How do they know? Because how do they know there's aluminum? How do they know there's barium? How do they know there's other precious metals in there? Now, just like with flat earthers, who are out of their fucking mind, by the way, the first thing that all of these guys say, they show all these videos and they go, look, 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 look. Look in the sky. Look at the way that these trails dissipate. There's 10 airplanes in the sky right now. Look at the jets, 10 of them. And there's 10 trails. And these 5 are dissipating very quickly. And look at those 5 over there. They're dissipating over 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Does that seem natural to you? Then they go on to the next video. Look at 10 trails here, 5 good, or 4 good and 6 bad. Look at these heavy. These are obviously full of heavy metals that are taking a long time to dissipate.
Well, I get it. I mean, a contrail usually is going behind the jet and you slowly see it disappear.
Yeah.
It doesn't stretch out.
Yeah.
It doesn't keep building, and that's what they're talking about. Those are 2 different things. Usually, if it's water vapor, it's going to disappear.
Okay. Well, there's a couple things. Again, going to the scientists that have no dog in this fight, and they examine these videos. This guy shows them, well, look at this video. Here's 4 videos in a row. They all say the same thing. And the scientist goes, okay, so that's 10 different jets flying at 10 different altitudes, 10 different directions. The pressure, the barometric pressure is different at every 200 feet. It's different. It's on every level. There's wind in different directions. And some places there's no wind. And the jet trail just stays there and floats. He says, okay, if these really have heavy metals in them, why aren't they falling? He says, if these water vapors are coated in metal, why aren't they falling? And of course, these guys, well, eventually they do. Which leads me to sunny point number 3. Sunny point number 3 is we have looked on the ground, and we have done water and soil samples. We have sent them all over the world for testing. Well, where did you get your ground from? We picked the most heavily trafficked jet areas.
What?
And right below them, where the corridors where these jets fly the most frequency, we checked the ground 30,000 feet below, and we did soil samples, and they have lead. They have barium. They have aluminum. And you're like, wait a sec. Okay, now my first thought was, if you picked a spot between, Seattle, and there's a corridor between Seattle and like L.A., there's one out over the ocean, but there's one inland too.
Right.
They've been flying that for 30 years. And you take soil samples from the San Joaquin Valley and you come up with aluminum. The first thing was, well, at 30,000 feet, the aluminum and the barium fell straight down?
That's what I was going to say. Nothing falls straight down.
There's no fucking way. It's not even logical.
No.
But that's one of their big points.
Okay.
Another one is the scientists looked at all of the readings because this guy had pulled up. Here is 10 soil sample readings.
Good for them.
And the guy goes, yeah, that can be anywhere.
Right.
This amount of aluminum is common. Now, some places you have little to none, and some places you have a lot. These soil samples that they're pretending are from jet streams. He goes, that's about the national average.
Why don't they just fly up there like they do for a hurricane and fly right through the chemtrail and catch it?
Because they don't want you to know. They don't want to find out. They don't want to tattle on their friends who are doing this.
But we'll take soil samples.
Yeah. You have to have a lot of faith in this. So the other thing is they're like, well, so it used to be, remember when Chris was talking about this, it was special planes with unmarked tail numbers, special pilots who know how to keep quiet. Because I asked, I go, who the fuck is flying these planes killing Americans? What asshole did you get to do this? I mean,
who signed up for that
right.
job?
So, special people and special planes and special. Well, that's been debunked 100 times over because people who have this conspiracy theory say, look, on Saturday, there was 15 chemtrails. Oh, really? 15 special planes with 15 special pilots? And then they went and tracked every plane and go, nope, these are all regular planes, regular commercial. They all had a job. No secrets.
Maybe it's the guys doing the cloud seeding.
Well, they switched it. The conspiracy guys quickly went to, no, okay, never mind with the special planes. Never mind with the special pilots. Okay, What they're doing is they're hiding it in the fuel. So even commercial airlines are now unwittingly participating in this. Well, right away, engineers got involved. And they're like, really? So you're going to fuck with an airline's fuel? Did I not mention they're watching every 0.5% on how much fuel it takes to do stuff? Now, how much more inefficient are these flights going to be when somehow they've secretly introduced metals into the fuel?
That gas truck that comes onto the flight field, the tarmac, and they're filling it. Yeah.
They paid that guy $50 and said, here, dump some number 2 leaded pencils in. We're good to go, baby. So the engineers came out and said, that's crazy. It would dilute the fuel even just enough. They'd notice, like a lot. You can't, there's no way they do that.
Make the airplane run bad.
Well, in effect, you wouldn't, pilot probably wouldn't notice, but the bean counters would be like, holy shit, that took like another 3,000 gallons in fuel to fly to Hawaii. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know who else stepped in right then?
Who?
The EPA. EPA was pissed. They're like, really? So you think we're so dumb that we don't monitor the fuel going into airplanes? We monitor the shit out of that.
I bet.
We tax you. We penalize you. We fuck with airlines. They fuck with everybody. The EPA says, you just think we're missing this. Oh, they were pissed. I mean, the whole thing begins to stack against you because
it's everybody pointing fingers at somebody else.
And the trails dissipate differently. Yes, they do at different heights all the time.
It's temperature, and
it's all of it.
Everything.
Every temperature, the barometric pressure, the altitude, the way the wind is blowing, how much wind is blowing. There's so many factors in this on how those trails look. Some trails disappear quickly. Some last for 20 or 30 minutes. Yep, that's normal. That's how that goes. No. No, that's proof. No, it's not proof, you moron.
No.
That's just how shit goes. That's just how it looks.
Welcome to our world.
Every one of these guys was going through this. So it's not, you'd have to literally be hiding the fuel in the planes. The airlines are going, no possible way are we letting that happen. It'd fucking kill our numbers. The EPA says, no fucking way. We live for finding that shit because we can find millions of dollars to the airlines if they're fucking with their fuel, or Exxon, or anybody producing the fuel. So then the conspiracy theorists moved it again. They moved the goalposts again. Well, okay. Never mind the special planes with special pilots. Never mind that we're tricking commercial airlines into using fuel and doing our bidding before us because they're stumbling, bumbling buffoons. Since that can't happen, it's the military. The military planes that's what they said. I went to the next phase of this and I listened to all their stuff. They said it's the military. The military is doing this and like
don't ask, don't tell.
Well, they say the EPA can't monitor them. Well, no shit, but that doesn't mean they're doing it. Just because you don't have a watchdog there doesn't mean, the proof is in the pudding. Can we monitor what they're doing? No, you can't. Ha ha. Well, then it's clearly something wrong. No, it's just them doing their things. Now, this is where we're coming all the way back to Robert Kennedy. He says he's been looking into the heavy metal thing because apparently this is where the autism and vaccines comes in with his thing. We're the only nation giving vaccines within the first 24 hours to infants. We do a lot of that.
Correct.
It is the arbitrary metals in the vaccine. This is the layman's way, believe me. The layman's way to explain this as it was explained to me. It's the arbitrary metals in the vaccine that temporarily open up a pathway. He says if you get a vaccine as a baby and in this hospital area, this neighborhood, there's some dogweed viral thing going on, you're going to be susceptible to that. Baby might be susceptible to that for years because he got his vaccine when that shit was floating through the air. Peanut allergies. The test they do, they put the metals into a rat or a rabbit, and it opens up and allows and they put the peanut allergy vapor in there. And guess what? Those animals can become susceptible for life because the metals open it up and allow it to come in. That's the dumb way to put it. Okay. So let's say that's right. Let's say Kennedy's onto something and he really wants to check out the vaccines. He wants to go further and figure out a way to get the metals out of the vaccine because it opens the door for other things to happen. All right, I got you. Good on him. But now he's into this thing with the chemtrails a little bit going, well, I think you guys are all fucking weirdos. But if there is metals in there, I'm kind of becoming the metals expert on how this works. And if there is any sort of chance that any metals are coming out of the sky, this could work the same way the vaccines are having a problem. It could allow people to get sick. So he's looking into that. The last thing I read, he's like, I'm going to go check it out. We're going to find some people. We're going to go investigate. We're going to randomly look at fuels. We're going to randomly inspect airplanes, private, commercial, and military. We're going to see if we can find something. If we do, we'll let you know. Good. Go look. I don't care if you go look. I want you to go look.
Does anybody that's listening have a comment or something about it? You can write it in the chat, and we'll talk about it.
So let's go back to part number 4, and we'll finish with this. You can guess and make up things on why. We touched on that a little bit. Population control. Not enough food to go around. Makes people sick, and there's a lot of money in sick people. All right. But we go back to something I brought up, which still has not been answered.
Okay.
Who do you get to do this? Because the people that are trying to debunk this, right? When they say, someone says, look, over Chicago at this time of day on a Friday afternoon, there's more chemtrails than anywhere else in the country. Go look there. So they did. And what'd they do? They pulled every flight number, every flight. They pulled every pilot's license to see who it was, where they were flying, what their job was, what they were doing. You know what they found in some of the big cities where these conspiracy people talk about this?
What?
The pilots lived right where they were flying and spraying all this metal. Why would they do that?
Right,
Why would they poison themselves, their families? If they know they're doing it, why are they doing it? You know, it's not like the guy says, well, I'm from Chicago. I'm going to fly from Seattle to L.A. and I'll chemtrail those assholes. No. Where the conspiracy theorists were pushing this was right in the spots where the pilots lived, about 40% of them. And if you say, well, we're back to they don't know what they're doing. They're doing it without knowledge. They don't know. All right, so we're back to what? Checking the fuels again? So either the pilots are in on it, or if they're not in on it, we're back to someone secretly putting it in the fuel, which is a pretty fucking easy thing to detect. And also the EPA is going, we're already doing that, assholes. And the airlines are saying, we're already checking. We're not fucking up our shit. We got the best fuel going. We need some efficiency here, baby. We're not letting you fuck with our fuel. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense when you got people looking that hard. It's like their job, and they want to find it.
Right.
So and there's more. You could talk about the chemtrail thing for a longer period of time. But the further you go, remember how I kept showing you how they move the goalpost?
Right.
Well, it's unmarked planes and unmarked pilots. Well, that's not true. Okay, it's planes, but they just don't know what's going on. Well, that's not true. Well, they're doing it unwittingly. Oh, so the pilots are flying and poisoning themselves, and they don't know. No, it's hidden in the fuel. Well, that's not true because the EPA and the airlines are checking the fuel. Well, it's military planes. Okay, Jesus Christ! Every time we prove you assholes are fucking weird in the head, you guys move the goalposts and tell us it's something else.
Right.
Just like a flat earther. So I did some homework on that, my beloved, because you wanted to know. And unless there is something that I'm missing from something recent, and now the only thing I got close to is something you brought up.
What's that?
About seeding the clouds. Now, I'm not going to go off on a tangent here, but there was a written report in the 60s. It was a field study along with a proposal that they could start a civil war in the United States. The military, this is a military report. They talked about this. You can read it now. It's not classified anymore. It was just written down as a hypothetical where they could use airplanes and chemically fuck people up. But it covered a lot. It covered making people sick. It covered making people mental, hallucinogenics. It covered a lot of different things.
It comes back to the thing where we grew up with acid rain.
Right.
Well, what if they were seeding the clouds so it makes it rain and the chemicals come down on people, or,
Well, that's what the whole report was. It wasn't even a report. It was just an idea. It was like, we could do this. We could start a war. We could kill people here and keep people alive there. We could pick who lives and dies by region. And, nothing ever came of it. But the idea has been out there. Yes, they can seed clouds. When there's moisture in the air, they can create a little bit. They cannot make clouds out of nothing. They can dissipate clouds. If they have clouds forming, there's ways to seed it really fast that dissipate the clouds and there's no rain. If you want a sunny day, that's a lot easier to do, to make a blue sky, than to turn a blue sky into clouds. You can do it, but it's very difficult. You have to have a lot of moisture in the air to begin with. You just kind of have to tip the scales. It's a whole different thing. And seeding the clouds for rain, yes, it is possible. They do it. And it has nothing to do with chemtrails. Now, could they be seeding the clouds with chemicals while they're doing it? I don't know. You don't have any proof that they're doing it. I really don't have any proof that they're not. But again, it comes back to what for?
Right.
And the deepest explanation I ever heard was some lady, it was 12 years ago, and she said, well, if you realized how much of the global economy depends on weather. And I watched her charts. She had charts and graphs, man. She was all over the charts and graphs. But it did show, if you have bad weather in one part of the world, bananas go up in price. If you have great weather in the United States, orange prices drop low because you've had great weather, lots of oranges. And this isn't just fruit. There's so many other things that have to do with inclement weather on the global economy. If there was some dude going, well, I'm going to invest $40 billion over here, and I'm going to turn on the rain, man. You fuckers are going to be out of all your coffee beans, but don't worry. I got all my coffee beans in Venezuela, and my coffee beans are going to be worth a lot now because I just drowned your shit out. That's the way that goes. That's what her argument was about the global economy and weather. The weather plays a big part in the economy, in shipping and receiving, in products and fruits and vegetables. It's a huge thing. And her idea was, if you could control that, you could invest money and create your own economy. You could have your own money, like a printing machine. But you'd have to do it everywhere. You'd have to squash down big regions of stuff. Now you'd need 100 or 200 unmarked planes with special pilots. I mean, you couldn't do it the way she was describing, although it was a colorful theory. Yeah. And her reasoning was, and I can support this because it has to do with money. All right, that's a pretty broad topic, but that's how she explained it. Although there was never any evidence of any corporations or people investing large amounts of money right before a weather system moved in or dissipated that anybody gained any financial gain off of it. She's never been able to prove any of that. So
interesting.
I did the homework. You're welcome. I did a shit ton. Now there's probably stuff I missed. There's probably some dude right now go, yeah, well, what about this, General? You forgot this little part over here. Yeah, I wasn't trying to answer everything. I was painting with a broad brush, broad strokes to give you guys the background, the summary, and the determination all at once. So there's your Cliff Notes. You're welcome, America and Denmark. You guys got that one for free, no charge. So in short, it is this person's opinion. Chemtrails, for the sake of killing people, I think are full of shit. I don't think that's real. Contrails is just a natural thing that happens all the time, and they will dissipate at different levels, different altitudes, and different speeds, sometimes not at all, depending on where you're flying. And that's just the way it goes. And you know how I know? People way smarter than me told me. Yep, way above my pay grade. All right. So where are we at with life, liberty, and the pursuit of justice right now?
Well, the weirdest thing is that I can't see everybody in the YouTube chat.
You can't?
No, it's really weird. And yeah, it's just...
Did we get banned?
Not that I know of. It's just... Our Danny is supposed to be in YouTube. I don't even see him at all. And he goes, oh, the chat's really active. And I'm like, no, it really isn't. So I'm not sure what's happening over there, but it's just kind of weird.
Well, I wonder if I can pull it up for you. Let me look. I might be able to have
Let's see. I hope you can, because I'm like dead in the water. And then Shy's having a problem too. So I don't know what's going on with
Every fucking off-the-record show we do, turns
does
into
something.
some
weird.
clusterfuck. Just like before we started today, the pod track quit. We've never had that pod track fail once.
I know.
And it wouldn't power up for this show.
I know. So we have half of our staff can see everybody, and Shiloh and I are out in somewhere land. I don't know what's going on.
I have a maybe explanation for that, but I don't want to tell you what it is.
It's a button you didn't push.
No.
Multiple streams.
Well, we are in multiple streams. You know. Okay, chat is loading for me.
Okay.
Amanda, somebody can't read what it says. Let me try to get it out there. I can see it. Pop out chat.
Do you see Danny?
I see Shiloh. She's talking to people. But Amanda Libby, 3239 says follow the money. Of course.
Do you see Danny in that chat? Do you see a blue wrench?
Nope. I see Shiloh,
See?
Shiloh. I see hello from Rob. I see no 66666. No 6666 said this is the best stream.
I know, but you
That's
can't
my
see
hero.
Danny.
Whoever no 66666. No, I can't. But I want to tell you something. I don't want you to get mad.
Oh, somebody said that everyone's in the other stream.
Yeah.
What the hell did you do?
See, I told you I didn't want you to get mad. You didn't even give me the chance. You're already mad. You already went from 0 to 100, and you don't even know why. Can we talk about it later? Do we got to discuss it right now?
No, because you're messing up my mojo right now.
All I was trying to do was enhance your mojo.
Well, it's not enhanced right now.
Well, the stream that I'm watching has.
Yeah, see, even Shiloh goes, "What other stream? What the fuck you talking about, mister?
Do you want me to say something or not? Because you act
What
like
are you talking about, Willis?
You act like you don't want to know, then you act mad like you do want to know. So
Well, I'm just speaking for Shiloh and I. What are you talking about?
okay. In the beginning,
There was the word.
and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. No, past that. Let's skip to Genesis. Let's go to Noah and the flood, past the crucifixion, and then 2,300 years in the future. Here we are. Welcome aboard. When I hit go live, you know that I go down the list and I check vertical or horizontal. Some people get to see a vertical stream. Some people get to see a horizontal stream. Turn your phone sideways. Or like on Twitch tonight, I did horizontal on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, it is a full screen on your TV, your computer. You're sitting back, nice, full, vivid screen. Everything looks great. Now, if you're on X, you're on your phone, and it's vertical, just like you'd be watching a video on X. It's right there, and you can watch it vertical. When it comes to YouTube, just last month, YouTube says, would you like to go vertical? Would you like to go horizontal? Or would you like to try both?
Ooh.
I didn't know what that meant, because how would YouTube know to put the horizontal on people's televisions, Apple TV, computers? How would it know? And the other one is, if you're watching on your phone, how does it know to send the vertical signal to someone's phone? I don't know. Now, we tried this once about a month ago when it first came out, and everybody said it got all fucked up. People on their TVs were watching it vertical with black bars. People who were watching on their phones said they kept having to turn their phone to get it to look right, and they kept having to switch it. Whatever it was that night, it didn't work. We had to shut off the stream and start over.
Well, just so you know, Danny told me to go over to the portrait side. I'm over there. I still don't see him.
So what I did tonight was just to see, because it's audio and it's not a lot of video of you and I switching screens and cameras and angles and doing stuff. I thought I'll just click both and see what it does. Apparently, there's two different streams going on YouTube, a vertical stream and a horizontal stream. I don't know how to access each one. I don't know where to go for each one. Hopefully, like your brother's sitting at home right now on his big 95-inch TV, and he's eating popcorn and drinking beer and watching the thing the way it's supposed to be, not with two black bars down the side.
Well, when I back out and look at thing, there are 4. So, whatever. Let's move on.
Yeah, see, there I am trying to help.
I just said move on.
And you're kicking me in the balls. All right. So we do have at least one phone call tonight.
And who is that to?
Well,
because somebody went to sleep and will not be available.
Who?
Were you going to call Loud One?
No.
Okay.
He texted my phone and goes, "Someone told me to call you," and I'm like, "Why?"
Well, he's out.
I love talking to Loud One, but I have no idea. Oh. Yeah. Shiloh had told Loud One to call in, kind of on backup. He, according to his own words, he was on reserve. He was
okay.
on deck, as they say.
He was a relief pitcher.
And so, let's see. All right, let's see. As Kel Reichen, that's good for Kel Reichen's got one. He wants to call in on a world show. That's a good one too.
Okay.
All right. Looking.
That's tomorrow.
Okay, it is right here. It is. It's Brown Ease.
Music? People are saying music? Did we just lose the chat?
Oh, did we lose the butt?
I don't know. See. Oh, music is playing. Danny's reporting.
Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum. Dum dum dum. I think we're back.
Are we back? Hello.
I closed out the button, brought it back. I don't know why I did that.
Are we there?
Let's check settings. And it says KGXT radio, and the audio is
very faint voices.
Yeah, not from here. Well, yeah, Streamlabs are the butt. It won't not supported by Windows. It won't even let me switch to the pod track. But Streamlabs is still.
Mics are hot. Audio volume very low.
What about YouTube? Are we good on YouTube? That's what I'm interested in. That'll tell me something.
Hold on. But it's very quiet. People are saying it's very quiet.
On what?
On the radio.
Yeah, but not on YouTube. I said I'm talking about YouTube.
Just hang on.
Why are you talking about the radio, man?
And that's what's more important.
Okay, now try it on the radio. Dum, dum, dum. Audio is PCM device. Audio is no. There's no choice for. I can't get back to the pod track. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with our pod track because it's still recording and going, but I can't get it to go on the radio. It won't. It's not even a choice, and I don't know why. Main is KGXT radio. Audio should be pod track. And it says default PCM device, so it's a really weird signal. And I'm going down the list. There is not one on here for the pod track at all. I can't even connect to it. I closed out. I'd have to shut the whole thing down and start over. And I can't do that. I just can't bring myself to do that. So let's see. Let's go to Streamlabs and see what they're saying. They're on the pod track, and Streamlabs sees the pod track, right? Properties, and it says no, it does not either. Yeah, we lost the pod track on everything.
Okay, so
well, we can't take a call. we can't take a phone call this way. You guys are listening to me through the microphone on the CDL, the Christina Dvorak laptop right now, and I can't do anything about it. I can turn the volume up a little bit, but there's nothing I can do because, like I told you, the pod track quit before we even started. We had to put batteries in it to get this thing going. It had no power source, and now it's not even transmitting the signal. That's why KGXT radio dropped it, because the butt didn't see any more signal coming in.
All right, so are we gonna end it, or what are we gonna do?
I was going to finish my explanation.
Oh, go ahead.
So when the pod track wasn't giving any signal to the butt says, "Oh, we must be off. No more story time," and it shut off and went back to the radio station. What it's supposed to do. When I pulled it back up again, it only lets me talk through the microphone on the laptop, which, as you guys know, is shitty. I can go through right now. There should be a lot of inputs. None of them are the pod track. And guess what? When I went to Streamlabs, I click on it. It clicked over. It didn't shut off, but it went from the pod track. It went over to the microphone on the laptop. So we had a good beginning to the show, but I can't take a phone call because the phone calls go through the pod track. I'll have to figure out what's going on. I may have to order another pod track. We probably have to leave this one in studio and quit carting it around with us because I think we've damaged it over the years of moving it. It is portable, but I probably should have had something different. And now I need to get one before I need to get another pod track before the interviews start in 4 days.
Yeah. Well, I just want to know because I want to tell chat.
Yeah, tell everybody that we're going to have to sign up because we can't take a phone call. It won't let us. It won't let us take a phone call in at all. We still got a good recording. We still had 45 minutes of a good show. We'll make sure the audio portion is put up there. But that means Shiloh has to contact everybody who was going to speak tonight and tell them to drink heavily next Wednesday. And they can have enough nerve to get on the air and tell their story. Because we had two pretty good ones. I was planning on going about an hour and a half tonight and running a little bit long. That's what the new thing is that the shows are fewer and farther between, but we're going to go longer on each show. That's the idea. But it didn't work out. So the next show for OTR Off the Record is next Wednesday, a week from today at 7 p.m. Los Angeles time. And the next show you have is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We have The World Show, Politics. We got Kel Reichen. He's going to call in. He's got something he wants to bring up and have a conversation about. Good topic, by the way, too. If we get everything handled the way we're supposed to, we'll have some 2-minute drills out for you. This is kind of the go before the go.
We have a special guest next week for OTR.
We do.
November 5th. Don't say what it is.
Oh, that's right.
A big
Yeah.
group coming in.
Yeah. YouTubers bigger than us, like been on TV and Discovery Channel shit. Those are big. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys listen next week. We'll get everything moving next week.
Yeah, if we get another pod track.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. That's a big one. That's way above our pay grade.
It may go a couple hours if things go well. It's going to be long.
And these guys are pros.
Yeah.
These guys are pros. They're bending the knee to be on our show, and I'm so happy that they're willing to do that for us. So you guys got to tune in a week from today, 7 p.m. Los Angeles time. We'll try this again. We'll get some new equipment, some new gear. But hey, we got 45 minutes, and you got to listen to me ramble for a little bit. I knew you guys wait for the special guest to show up. It just didn't happen tonight. But we're working on that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. Not sure where you're chiming in from around the planet. AM, FM, Sirius XM. Or perhaps you listen in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things in life. Number 1, wherever you go, there you are. And number 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side because I'm out, baby.
Bye-bye.